got caught. What? Yeah, that's where it gets a little crazy. And that's where I get a little bit dangerous, because I've never said that on the air before, but I have documents to back that up, okay? So, you know what? Let's read more from the counterinsurgency documents. Long-term success in counterinsurgency depends on people taking charge of their own affairs and consenting to government's rule. Achieving this condition requires the government to eliminate as many causes of the insurgency as feasible. This can include eliminating those extremists whose beliefs prevent them from ever reconciling with the government. And by the way, that's what Project Mockingbird was about. Project Mockingbird was to mock the revolutionaries that could overthrow the government and then replace them. I mean, neutralization, that's what the CIA operates on. And that's what COINTELPRO is. Over time, counterinsurgents aim to enable a country or economic activity. Okay, so basically, the aspects of insurgency is even better. This goes on to talk about how to have an internal war, how to exploit the media. Sorry, folks. I get these chest pains once in a while. So basically, plus I actually ate GMO food earlier. And I don't feel so hot. So, anyways, it doesn't matter. The point is this, okay? What I've been discovering is all roads lead to Rome. And they set it up like this. And they're going to continue doing this until they're completely exposed. And by that time, people are going to realize that we should have done this a long time ago. But it doesn't matter. You know, as long as we don't get worked up to the point where we do something crazy, we're okay. And that's what this is all about. It's to expose those who truly fearmonger. And fear-mongering is not a bad term. Fear is actually what the government runs on. The Founding Fathers knew that. But they weren't dumbed down by all the stuff that the government did to them. And they weren't bombarded by commercialism and all kinds of... You know, Alex Jones is the establishment version of the constitutionalist truth movement. If you want to find a real truth movement, turn on a ham wave radio. And I'm not saying everyone on a ham wave radio you can trust. But I can guarantee you, if you have some common sense, you'll figure out who's telling the truth and who isn't. Especially if they're not quoting links from the internet. Not everything on the internet is valid, folks. That's what I'm also starting to realize. But there are a lot of things that do expose a lot of stuff. But I'm going to go out and start reporting the news myself. If I don't see anything outside my front door, you know what? Then it's all in my head. Think about it. Also, think about what, Brzezinski said. I mean, the public mind... No, Kissinger. The public mind is where it's at. That's where the war is really at, folks. Okay? Just so you know. So let me play more of Bill Cooper, and I'll be back with more on Alex Jones and Project Mockingbird.
blown to bits. Massive Grad unguided rocket attacks are being launched from the city indiscriminately right now. Air and artillery bombardments as well. It's absolutely out of control. It is pandemic, ladies and gentlemen. I'll give you the news first on Y2k. The newest developments, the Pennsylvania nuclear plant has been shut down. One of the main systems transferring the power from it failed, but they say it's not a Y2k problem. And the things I'm experiencing here in Austin, Texas, the shelves are empty of water and some gas stations are running out of fuel. Here in Central Texas and in Minneapolis, Minnesota, the shortwave is basically down, ladies and gentlemen. Went off right as I went on the air. The big news on Y2k. Then we'll start going to your calls. 800-259-9231. 800-259-9231. All right, let's go ahead and get to this article. Associated Press. This came out at 7:22 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today, December 31st, 1999. Pennsylvania nuclear plant shut down. One of the two nuclear reactors at PECO Energy Co.'s Limerick Generating Station.
Okay, hold on. Notice how he said Associated Press. Okay, now who's the Associated Press? The Illuminati. Just like CBS. Or ABC. Okay, remember that. Remember that, folks. He got his news feed on the power plant shutting down from the Associated Press. Not from some activists in the truth movement or anything like that. No. From the Associated Press. Sound familiar? It gets worse.
Has shut down this morning after a piece of equipment failed. Company spokesman Neil McDermott said the problem was not Y2k related. It was declared an unusual event, the least serious emergency classification of a nuclear power plant. They got to have a serious emergency to shut down a plant, ladies and gentlemen. You power one down, you're not going to power it up for at least days. It was declared an unusual event. At 2:55 a.m., shutdown occurred when an insulator on the main generator transformer from Limerick 2 failed. We had reports yesterday of this. Off the record, I would not report it, but I had it from a good source that this plant was having problem along with 4 other plants. I may just go ahead and report it here. I mean, boy, do we get good information here. This has been going on for days. From our information, it is not this transformer that they're talking about. They wouldn't just shut a plant down over that. Something serious may be going on there. So that the central government, known as the federal government, the occupational government in Washington, D.C., has set up a huge $50 million command bunker hooked into all the FEMA boxes that can take over all the shortwave broadcast and commercial AM and FM stations, as well as television broadcast stations, and we hope they do not activate that, ladies and gentlemen. Police and military are on high alert, running around looking for supposed boogeymen and terrorists under every rock. Military are highly visible now. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, there are trains of military equipment moving into Austin. 2 nights ago, on Wednesday night, Fox News reported that the airport will be used as a massive holding facility for troublemakers or rioters here in Austin that has no history of riots. They need to get that country locked down so they can stage the election for Vladimir Putin. I mean, this guy is a demon. Have you seen this guy? It's just how he's raging with power. I'm Alex Jones. I'm your host. I'm just one of the great hosts here on the GCN radio network, and I've been very passionate today because I can't even keep track of all the developing news as it's coming in. I'm not going to get into I'm not even going to say it's 6 to 7 reactors across the country. I'm not even going to. It's bad, and I got this news about the Pennsylvania plant early yesterday, got it again off air, confirmed it with someone that is 99% accurate, about like I am, trying to report the truth, and now I've got the Associated Press saying, well, they shut the whole plant down, but they call it an unusual event, the least serious emergency classification of a nuclear power plant. Well, it's got to be pretty bad for them to power a plant down.
Time is getting shorter until Y2K. If you want to be sure your family and loved ones weather the potential Y2K storm of delays, shortages, or interruptions of services, then now is the time to stock up on emergency supplies and a home food reserve.
As the developments move forward with this Y2K and this gear up for clamping down in America and Russia and around the world by global...
Hold on. Notice his advertisements were about... They were all about selling stuff to prepare for what? Y2k. So even on the very last days, he had to build up and work the public up to a frenzy so he could sell all of his what? Products. Oh, you don't believe me now, but keep listening. Keep listening. You'll see. You'll see. You're gonna hate me, but sometimes that's what it takes for people to wake up.
Those forces will be bringing you the news as long as we're here on the air. Now pretty much dictator and controller of Russia publicly, and here in America they're gearing up and bracing for terrorism and militarizing everything in front of us. So it's happening there, it's happening here. There they're using the war with Chechnya. Here they're using Y2K and the threat of terrorism. Oh, this is extremely serious. 2 weeks ago, Topol M, 6,200-mile super range, multiple warhead, newest design, U.S. clone technology missiles were deployed across Russia. They're mobile. These are first strike type systems. They're also designed to...
So, he said missile strike systems. He's saying that missiles were being aimed at us and they were going to be deployed within minutes. He said this on the air. I mean, do I have to rewind that for you folks? Because, I mean, it is annoying to know that he actually said that and got people in fear, and then people still want to believe him. Folks, this guy is what's going to cause New World Order to happen. And the elite are betting more on Alex Jones than ever before. That's why Alex Jones was happy to report on Homeland Security. You know, his voice went up. Remember when I told you about that report? I thought it was legitimate, but it wasn't. It turns out when I read Homeland Security's report on Alex Jones, it sounded like Alex Jones was being validated. It didn't sound like a hit piece. It sounded more like a promotion. Think about it, folks. Really think about what's going on here. I mean, if I'm going to look for the truth, and I'm going to be on the air, then I'm going to hit you hard. But I'm going to hit you hard with the truth, and not with deception, or not with the truth to the point where you panic. Folks, there's nothing really to panic about except for panicking itself. Understand that. Understand how that works. So, here's more of, well, let me see if I can pull it up, because my computer's all of a sudden acting up. It's like something's trying to intercept my signal, but I know that's paranoia. So here is part 3, or the continuing of it.
Survived several strikes from America or any other nation. They're deploying these, and Yeltsin openly has been threatening us weekly to nuke us. I mean, it's just getting insane. And absolutely, this looks like just one more ratchet on the takeover of America. And yes, they have an extreme strongman in KGB leader running Russia right now. They have deployed their missiles against us and their submarines, and have already delivered fully functional missile cruisers to China. Yes, he took the codes off, and he took away our first strike capability. By first strike, that means if missiles are in the air, let's say 4,000 of them. The Russians have got a lot more than that. Right. 4,000 missiles.
Look, he said that they already took the codes off. How would he possibly know that all of a sudden? He's speaking like Orson Welles. Like as if he's seeing everything all out in the open. But because the public is in such a frenzy, this is how he works, folks. Think about it. When you're in a frenzy and you're fearful, are you really going to notice little tactics like this? No. Because when you're afraid, and the elite know this. They know this. That's why they keep these people closer to them. Oh yeah, it's a lot crazier than you think.